It has now been 2 months since the 100 billion Rwandan franc fund was set up, but not all who applied for loans have received them. The government did well to think of us, but not all of us have gotten the money. I applied on the 30th of June, but I am yet to receive a reply. I called my bank, but they told me to be patient, saying the procedure is still ongoing, claiming they are understaffed with many employees working from home, things like that. What more can you say? The fact is we are being held back and this procedure is taking too long because I have a lot I need to do. I did everything they told me, met every requirement, and if anything is lacking, they should let me know. But they have told me nothing about missing documents. Officials in the Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning say any challenges should be presented to the concerned authorities. Any challenges should be presented to PSF, the Private Sector Federation, or RBA, the Rwanda Bankers Association. We have put in place other channels to help them as well, at the Central Bank and Minecofin. That is so that they may give input so that things are improved and the fund can really help people. We formed a committee to follow up such issues. People should take advantage of this opportunity and help the economy to pick up again. If anything, the only problem we should be hearing about is that the fund is running out. Those in the hospitality sector are complaining that banks are giving them a hard time when they try to access the funds. They are asking for collateral, and yet our members have very obvious operations and assets that have always been used for collateral. The fact is our businesses go through high and low activity periods, and when the total lockdown was initiated on the 21st of March, that quarter was over anyway. So there is no point of comparing it to the ones in the previous year because they were basically the same. If they want to see how we were affected, they should look at April to June and compare that time frame with the previous year. Only then will they see how the Covid-19 pandemic affected our sector and how trade came to a halt. Half of the fund has been set aside for hotels, and only 3 businesses have received their loans, with more than 140 hotels having applied for funds. We have received 148 applications and they were all assessed and approved here at Benin and then passed on to commercial banks that now have to talk to their clients about the contracts, because if they had a previous agreement with them, a new one will be required, and that includes registration at RDB and all those procedures concerning a new loan. That may take time. Apart from that, everything else has been done. So far, it is 43 billion Rwandan francs out of the 50 billion that was set aside for hotels. In the coming months, we will speed up things because we are pushing for our economic growth not to slip below zero. We are aiming for 2% growth, and we cannot attain that if things are not done quickly. Farmers need to farm, and banks should also step up their efforts so that we can all play our part in preserving the economy. 16 banks and financial institutions are providing the recovery loans at an annual interest rate of 8%, with a payback period between 2 and 15 years for hotels. Over 600 people have applied for funds as collateral for investments, and their dossiers have been forwarded to the central bank. The fund itself started with 100 billion Rwandan francs, half to go to hotels, large companies getting 30 billion, 15 billion for medium-sized businesses, and 1 billion for small enterprises. The Business Development Fund, BDF, was provided with 3 billion Rwandan francs to be used as collateral, and an additional 2 billion was set aside for sector savings cooperatives or SACCOs.